Isn't it one of the best feelings ever in golf when you make that smooth and effortless practice swing of yours, just making your way back and forth, and your aim is to do the same thing when hitting the golf shot. You stand over the golf ball, you aim to make that swing back and forth, and it just does that. Straight onto the green, nice birdie putt, easy as that. But what's so frustrating about the game of golf is this isn't usually the case, is it? It's usually the opposite. We make that lovely practice swing, it feels that effortless, but when you actually try and hit the golf ball, we get very rigid, we get very tense, we can't help ourselves doing this, and the golf shots go everywhere. We get those thin, we get those top golf shots going right, left, dead inconsistent. What can we do? Well, there's a solution that I gave one of my students, Callum, the other day when he came to see me for a golf lesson, where we went through 3 simple fundamental changes for his golf swing that allowed him to make effortless golf swings hitting the golf ball just like the practice swing. Now, before we jump right into these 3 changes we made, if you are new to the channel and this is one of your first videos of mine, welcome. I'm Harry, a golf teach professional, posting content just like this every single week to help you lower your score. So consider clicking that subscribe button below, as it helps me produce more content just like this one, and it's completely free to do. Now, when we take a look at the first change on the screen here, before and afterwards, what you'll notice is the posture change. The posture goes from very much so upright position, very close to the golf ball, very sort of rigid, hunched over the golf ball, just like this here, to getting into a way more athletic setup position that gave him loads more room between his hands and the body. This is going to make it much easier for Callum to make a smooth and effortless golf swing without getting stuck through impact. If we're too close to the golf ball and too upright, it's very easy for our hips to fire out the way and our hands get too close to the golf ball like this here. So this was one of the reasons for the poor ball striking issues. Once we got Callum set up into a more athletic position, that made the next 2 changes for Callum's golf swing so much easier to implement. So taking a look at the actual posture position, what I got Callum doing was first taking the club across the shoulders like this here, standing in a nice straight line with the feet ever so slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Then I gave him a bit of a bonus tip, which I don't usually mention to golfers, but I would highly recommend trying this, is flaring the feet more on an angle. Almost imagining like you're on a range mat at a driving range and your feet are pointing at the corners of the mat. Now, there's a reason for this, which I'll explain in change number 2. So club across the shoulders, bending the knees for the next step, and then from here we're getting the feeling and sensation of someone pushing against our belt buckle or belly button, so our hips move away from the golf ball as our upper body moves towards the golf ball. Now, the key for this part here, which is the hardest part I would say for this drill and routine, is all to do with the feel versus real concept. So for me here, as I'm tilting over, you'll notice here I'm very much so tilted over the golf ball. My spine angle here is almost at a parallel angle in relation to the ground. Now, of course, we don't want to be too far over the golf ball like I've just set myself up here. However, too many golfers don't exaggerate this move enough. So what I encouraged Callum to do was just to exaggerate this a little bit more, so that when we could take the club down like this here and drop it to the floor, what will always happen is as we drop the club to the floor, our upper body will naturally lift up into the correct position. So let's just say the correct position is on that 45-degree angle that we see a lot of the good players making these days. We want to get to almost that 50-degree mark, and then we can just relax, bring the arms down towards the golf ball, and then just set ourselves back up at that 45-degree angle. Now, the key to this is just ensuring that when you're doing this, we feel either a little bit of a strain in our hamstrings or our lower back. Nothing that should hurt, nothing that should feel too uncomfortable, just a little bit awkward just to begin with, simply because you're not used to getting yourself set up into that more athletic and more reliable posture and setup position. And this is what we got Callum doing. Once we got him set up into this position here, we got him practicing hitting a few shots before moving on to change number 2. And there was still a few golf shots going to the left, a couple of golf shots going to the right. So how could we make it more consistent for him? And this is where we began to move on to change number 2. I just wanted to let you know, if you don't know already, I am currently offering in-person lessons at this fantastic indoor golf facility. And I'm also offering online lessons. So if you'd like to check out more information regarding this, the links will be in the description below. Now bringing in change number 2, what you'll notice from the screen here now, taking a look at the video on the right hand side of the screen, which is before change number 2 and after change number 2 on the left side, is a big difference in the overall backswing. The backswing is a lot longer on the left hand side, the after video, because we were aiming to add a lot more rotation into the backswing. So we took the club back across the shoulders like this here, and I told him to stand in a straight line for this one, just with his feet flared out again on the 45-degree angles. And the key to the feet being flared out is because of this reason here. If I move my feet in was like this and I was just a twist, I can only go so far back. In relation to if I have them flared out, I can actually rotate round myself a lot more so. So we started with just getting him to twist the body into the backswing from this upright position. Now the reason for the upright position is because it gives Callum, and it will give you when you try this, a great indication of how far you can twist into the backswing without giving yourself a higher chance of getting injured from doing this movement. So once we knew that we could turn up to this point here, we could then tilt into our posture and practice this same movement and just twisting round like this here. And the feeling and sensation for him was coming from the right hip going back and around as the trail hip of ours goes up and around into the top of the backswing here. And we can see here from the face-on view that the butt end of the club is pointing more towards the golf ball. If you can get it past the golf ball, great, but just be careful when you try and get it past the golf ball, we don't end up swaying into the backswing like this here. We want to ensure that we are actually staying over the center point in the golf swing as we begin to apply that twisting motion into the top of the golf swing. Now once we applied this into the backswing, it was time to apply this into the downswing. Turning through, same sensation, working from that lead hip this time, going back and around as the lead shoulder works up and around into the follow through as we make our way through. After making a few swings either side, we took the club and just got Callum hitting a few more shots, getting used to that movement. So getting Callum used to the movements, a lot of rotation there, but it sprayed out too far to the right. Now we've hit a couple of shots left, a couple of shots right now. What can we do to control the club face? And this brings us into change number 3. But before we bring that in, if you are in the market for new golf clothing, I'd highly recommend checking out the website SATORI Golf, who provide high quality premium golf clothing that is actually very easy to swing in. Using my discount code HARRY10, you can get yourself 10% off any of their clothing. I've been wearing them for the last couple of months. I've been really impressed with the quality and the fit of the material, so I'd recommend you checking them out. Now when we take a look at change number 3 on the screen here, what we'll notice is a huge difference to the overall backswing position of where the arms are. What we got Callum doing was getting himself into a better, wider, more controllable backswing position. And this is all to do with the feeling of from the starting position all the way up to the top of the golf swing. And the feeling I got him doing was pushing his hands away from him as he made his way from the starting position all the way up to the top of the golf swing. So to do this drill, I just got him taking the club away and placing his thumbs touching together like this here with his palms facing the ground. Now, as I made my way into the backswing here, what Callum would do, just to give you an example, is allow the pressure to release and bring the hands closer to us. We wanted Callum now to really push that pressure down, keeping the body stable, but pushing the pressure down into the ground, and we'd push that pressure all the way up to the top of the golf swing. We're not allowing any of our arms to fold whatsoever. We're just allowing this movement to come from the body rotation, pushing those arms away as much as we can into the backswing. Same as we made our way into the downswing and through to finish. Taking the club and doing this, making our way into the backswing, pushing those hands away. This is able to calm down the arm movement of both the trail getting too close, falling too closely to the right shoulder, and this lead arm stopping that from bending at all and keeping it nice and straight. But there was one more issue with this. we still had this hinged position at the top of the golf swing, although we were able to set the arms into a much better backswing position. Now, a crazy backswing move that I do explain in more detail over in his top right hand corner here, and I'll also leave this at the end screen as well, is getting Callum the sensation and the feeling to turn up to the top of the golf swing, big turn, but feeling like this here was his backswing. Now, when he started to apply that movement, no wrist hinge whatsoever, no arm folding whatsoever, the feeling of no arm folding and no wrist hinging into the top of the golf swing, you can see from the videos here of the outcome of this. Rather than seeing the club get too close to the body, it was in a way more controlled, much more reliable position to make the downswing sequence much easier to achieve. So they were the two feelings we had for Callum for change number 3. And once we started to work on those 3 things, combine those 3 movements, we noticed golf shots, brilliant golf shots being hit, just like this one here. Just drawing ever so slightly back to target, and we'll certainly take that one. Lovely little bounce, but it's rolled next to the hole. Great possible chance there for a birdie. So applying those 3 things made Callum's golf swing much easier to implement from that practice swing, that effortless practice swing, and working away into the golf ball and applying that same effortless golf swing and seeing much better results, taking a look at the swing beforehand and then the final finishing golf swing. This only took Callum an hour to change those 3 things in his golf swing that just made him a much more consistent player. So if you do decide to give these 3 changes a try into your golf swing, why not drop a comment down below to let me know how you get on after watching this video. But you're also going to want to take this onto the golf course. I'd recommend taking a look at downloading my ebook, The Course Management Guide. It's an easy and simple guide to read that helps you manage your way around better on a golf course. You can simply shave a few strokes off your score just from reading that guide, as there's a lot of easy and simple steps that anyone can do on the golf course that are going to really help them improve their score. So I recommend checking that out. The link for that will be in the description below, along with all my other coaching materials to help you improve your golf further. Be sure to check out this video up here where I explain more about this crazy movement into the backswing that allowed my 2 students, Nick and Dom, to gain way more consistency in the golf swing. And why not check out this video down below if you're looking for more tips on simplifying the golf swing.